Hey everyone, I am Nixie and welcome to September's new releases and manga haul. So we're going to go as usual publisher by publisher and I'll cover off the brand new releases first, and then we'll go into everything else I hauled in the month of September. So the first publisher that we're going to start with today is going to be Viz Media, because we don't have that many new releases from Viz this month. So the first one we have is My Hero Academia Volume 35. So we are sort of like building up this collection of My Hero Academia. So we are starting to see more of One for All. Like, conflict is coming to a head, like it's building up, we're seeing a bit more action. Yeah, and things are just kicking off. I actually keep up with this series like on Shonen Jump. So obviously I'm ahead of like the manga releases, which actually like the last couple of chapters, I'm not sure how I felt with like what's been going off in the direction that it's like the past couple of chapters have gone in. But yeah, we are, like I say, starting to see more of One for All in this, and things are really starting to kick off. Next we have the second volume of Like a Butterfly. This is such a cute series. So this is about Shuren, who is she is a very beautiful person, and a lot of people will see that, and she tends to get like a lot of like creepy guys coming up to her, sort of like hitting on her, making moves and stuff, and she's quite shy and insecure and everything. So like she basically now is almost like a mute because of all this unwanted attention that she's been getting. She doesn't really like speak to people. She's got a couple of close friends. And then she meets a boy called Tachi, which is the guy on the cover, and she is kind of like smitten with him. He is also sort of like very shy and sort of like tends to keep himself to himself. This is a really cute shoujo. Like, I've really been enjoying this, and I'm super excited to see the next volume. We kind of get like some moves made in this one, and it's very cute. Next we have one that I was super excited for, and that is #DRCL Midnight Children Volume 1. This is a hardcover. I'm so excited to have more of Sakamoto's like work. We're getting Innocent, which should be coming out I think in November, I want to say, which ever since I saw the artwork for Innocent, I have been like dying for an English license of that, because the artwork is gorgeous. So I'm super excited that we're getting that. But before we had that, we had this. So this is their take on obviously Dracula, the Bram Stoker version. Honest, like I really enjoyed this, more so because of the artwork. Like, this creator Sakamoto, like absolutely freaking gorgeous like artwork. Some of my absolute favorite that I've seen in a manga, which is why I'm excited that we are getting like another license from them. And I believe they have another work called Climbers. So if Innocent does well, they'll be looking to license that in English as well. So just, you know, if it does well, which I'm sure it will. But yeah, I loved like the story in this. Like, I'm a fan obviously of vampires, that sort of thing. Like, I actually used to live near Whitby, like not far from Whitby, which is where obviously Dracula is like based. So yeah, I love anything like vampires, so I was super excited for this, and it really didn't disappoint. Like I said, the artwork is even more stunning. Like, you really have to see this in person, and I love the way that Viz has presented this, like giving it the hardcover treatment. So yeah, I'm looking forward to volume 2, which I think is going to be out next year now. But yeah, like absolutely stunning artwork, and the story is good too as well. we have another shoujo. We have Wolf Girl and Black Prince of Volume 3. Now these two characters are kind of like, they're both kind of a little bit as bad as each other kind of thing. But this is about Erika. So she surrounded by basically like superficial girls who only care about like having a boyfriend, what the boyfriends can do for them, and discussing like dates and like what they're doing and blah blah blah. But yeah, they're quite like shallow, so she wanted to try and fit in with them, and so she made up that she had a boyfriend. She doesn't. So they were asking for pictures, and she ended up taking a picture of some random guy and making it out to be her boyfriend. And it turns out that that guy actually goes to their school, and she didn't know. So he agrees to play along, be her boyfriend in return for her basically being his dog. You know, being there on command, being loyal to him and all that sort of stuff. The way that this like volume ended, I was kind of like, good for you, Erika, sort of thing. Like being your own person and that sort of stuff. Like I didn't want to spoil stuff, but I was kind of like, you know, you're taking a step in the right direction. But yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, I really enjoy this because it's not like a really fluffy. Like that sort of like how Like a Butterfly is not like that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to the next volumes of this one. Next we have volume 3 of Dark Gathering. I really like this one. I'm not like a massive like horror buff type of person. Like I'm quite a scaredy cat. And I find this one actually, this series, quite like unsettling. So it's like supernatural. It's based on a guy, Kitaro, who he is basically being cursed by a spirit, and he's looking to break that curse. His best friend as well, she also got cursed, so he's kind of like trying to find a way to break the curse that was put on them from this spirit. In their travels they come across, well, he's introduced to Yayo, who is the cousin of his girl friend, and she is also on the hunt for spirits. Now like she's the complete opposite to Kitaro, because he is deathly afraid of these spirits being able to see them. Where she is all for, she is out there like wanting to capture them, wanting to like destroy them, but she does have a very specific reason as to why she's like also looking for spirits. Not only is this unsettling in like the supernatural way, but there's something that kicks off like in volume 2 specifically that makes it like a real life unsettling sort of moment that kind of like is there like in the background, that I wasn't expecting. But yeah, so if you like supernatural stuff like spirits, that sort of thing, then go ahead and pick this up. This has been really great so far. And also as well, what the author has done is, because there isn't any bonus content in this, like sometimes there's like a bonus chapter at the end, like a little side story. The author didn't do that in this one. Instead they put like a little recut pages in, like panels, which is kind of like, I would call them like a bloopers of the manga, which are really funny actually. It gives you a good giggle in this one. But yeah, really like this series. Next we have one that I haven't had a chance to read yet, and that is A Blade of the Moon Princess. So this is the same author as Tista and Spy Family. This is their like new series that Viz has licensed. So this is about Princess Kayuga, Kaya. So she is basically like this princess, but she's not the sort of like stereotypical good princess, the one that is born to be a princess and to lead her people. She's a disappointment by the sounds of it. Anyway, the who is it? The Empress falls ill, and it's basically up to her to step up, but there's a lot of enemies, and so she sort of like gets cast out and stranded. So she's trying to obviously get back to be the princess that the people need, but can she do it? Next, we'll move on to sort of like random volumes that I've got from some publishers. So from Sublime, we have two early releases. The first one is his favorite. This is volume 13. So this is quite a commitment, this series. I'm missing a few volumes that I've not caught up. It's a high school romance between sort of like the popular guy. It's one of those kind of tropes, but it is one of the non-mature titles from Sublime. It's just an older teen. Like I said, I'm missing a few volumes, so I'm not quite here yet. But yeah, so this was supposed to come out in November, I think. No, October, but we got it early. It came out at the beginning of September. Next, we have the sequel to Old Fashioned Cupcake. So this is Old Fashioned Cupcake with Cappuccino. It's quite a thick volume. I really liked this series. It was very sweet. I love the dynamic between these two. There's an age gap. They are co-workers. And it is that trope of the co-worker looking up to like his senpai in the office, and the older guy who is Nozu, he wants to go off and like do all these like date type romantic things, but he hasn't had the chance to do that, and he kind of sees himself as like this really old guy that's like coming to the end of his life. Which is ridiculous, like he's only 39. So his younger colleague sort of like takes him out to like this little cafe that he's always wanted to go to have like these cute little cakes and stuff. Nozu is quite self-conscious and is aware that you know, they are two guys like out together, and it makes them look like a couple, which, you know, who cares? But yeah, I really liked both of these volumes. That does wrap up the story. There is a little bit of drama in this, like relationship drama, but I really like the dynamic between these two. And then moving on to Kuma, let's move on to Kuma. We have the delayed Happy at the End volume 2. So happy to finally have this. So this is from the same creator as Escape Journey. God, that took me ages to think of. Escape Journey and You Rich and Bitch Club as well. This is definitely the darker story from this creator. I love the artwork. It's really, really beautiful, like the way that they draw characters. It is a mature read, definitely a mature read, and it is uncensored as well, just to like make you aware of that. So like I say, this is a darker series. I have been enjoying it. So this is Chihiro, which is this blonde guy. He is sort of like hasn't got anywhere to go, doesn't have a job, and he meets this guy who basically takes him in. It is a toxic relationship. It's not a very happy story between like these two and like their backgrounds and everything, and there is some like child grooming and abuse, just to make you aware of that in this as well. And then like some people will have like problems with stuff like that. But yeah, I've been enjoying this series, and I'm so happy that we're getting more of this creator's work. We also have Daisy Jealousy, which I am super excited about. Got announced, which will be out next year. I've been craving that in an English release. I'm super excited that we are getting that. But yeah, just keep in mind, mature, not exactly like the most happiest of stories. And then from Denpa, we have finally Vampires Volume 3. So this is a GL, and this is about a girl who basically finds a vampire and she is completely smitten with that vampire. And she's basically like, you can have as much of my blood as you want, as you need, like please just use me. I haven't had a chance to read the 3rd volume yet. I've only just sort of like got this one. I do love like how Denpa presents their like manga as well, like these little flappies, and they're nice and sturdy as well. They are like, this one is glossy, with like previous volumes I feel like were matte, like textured matte, which like kind of annoys me when like publishers do that, where they change like the feel of the manga like in a series. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this one so far, so I'm excited to read volume 3. Then we are going to move on to Kodansha, a couple of releases from Kodansha. We have Tendance volume 7. So there's a drama happening in this, well, continued drama happening in this. This is about ballroom dancing. It is a BL, and it is mature, so it is 18 plus as well, so just keep that in mind. I've not caught up with this one yet because I am missing volumes, but I do really love the artwork in this. Like, it's very, very pretty, and I love the whole like ballroom dancing thing as well. Next we have one of my favorite manga series. We finally have the next release, which is One Dance volume 6. I love this series so much. So this is about like house dance, break dance, hip hop dance, those types of like dancing. We see dance battles, and this is about Cable, who is very secure. He tries to like blend into the background, so like people don't notice him, and he sort of like found a passion through joining the dance club and meeting a lady there, which they're so cute. I really want like stuff to happen between them, but we are primarily focused on the obviously the whole hip hop dancing themes. Particularly in this one, we continue to see the competition that's happening at the minute, the dance battles and everything, which gets very intense. Like, this is one of the mangas that like actually gives me goosebumps like while I'm reading it, which might sound crazy to some people, but like I get completely engrossed in this. And I love like how the author like is showing these like big movements and stuff. Like you can really sort of like see it happening. I love the character development in this as well, like seeing like characters grow, and the fact that like these characters that we do meet, you know, they're not always like on top, coming out on top as well. Like there is struggle there as well, but they continue to grow like as people and together. But yeah, so if you haven't checked this out, like please just go and pick it up. Like, it's such a great read. Next, moving on to Tokyopop. So we have Confessions of a Shy Baker volume 3, which I haven't had a chance to read this one yet. So this is a BL about an older couple who are together, but one is out there. Everyone knows that they're gay, whereas the other guy, this guy, he's in the closet, and he's very like conscious about people finding out that he's gay, and that he's living with his boyfriend, and he makes like low calorie, like healthier like snacks and stuff for his partner who's like trying to lose weight. So it's about those. It does remind me a lot of What Did You Eat Yesterday, but like a more dramatic version of that. Like I said, I've not had a chance to read volume 3, but I have enjoyed the past 2 volumes that have come out so far. Then we have, I know this is a highly anticipated release again, we have We Can't Do Just the Plain Love. Now I find the premise of this like a little bit weird. So this is about Sakura and Tatsuki. So so Sakura and what did I say? Tatsuki. So he basically can't talk to women, even though he's a very attractive guy. And high up, like in the office. So Sakura is his subordinate. He's like the assistant. And she has a smell fetish, and she loves the way that he smells. Which gives him, when she gets close and everything, he has like bodily reactions. So they've come to the agreement that she is going to help him get over his aversion to speaking to women without getting like any reactions. Yeah, by sleeping together and like going out on these like little dates and everything. So like the premise is kind of like a little bit weird. But fine, whatever, once you get past that. This is a very mature read. It is very spicy. But yeah, I know a lot of people have been really anticipating this and were super excited when we got the English announcement. Yeah, apart from like finding it a little bit weird, like the whole setup of the story, like I have been enjoying it. It's been a fun read. And I feel like from here on out we are gonna start getting like quite a bit of drama. We have the spoiler has entered the scene, so yeah, I feel like it's gonna start getting very dramatic. Next we have IZE Town Volume 2, which I think was a early release as well. I just got this the other day. So this is like gangs. It's a very like rough, difficult world. So this is about Yuki, which is this guy here. No? Yeah, which is this guy here. He has had a very, very difficult life so far, and he meets up with this guy who basically like helps him. This is a BL, by the way. That basically helps him, and he has like a one-sided love for Yuki. Like I say, it's revolving around like gangs, and it's like you can tell that it's just like a very difficult world that they live in, and Yuki just like is never gonna get like a break sort of situation. This does involve like it's quite violent, and it does involve like minors, like in some flashbacks and stuff, like what's happened to Yuki. So just be aware of that. Tokyopop is really good at like having their warnings on the back here. So just to make you aware that it is like gang warfare, underage sex work and abuse involving minors. But this we get more information about Yuki, like what he's actually been through and everything, which like isn't pleasant. So like if you are wanting to pick this up, just be aware of that. But it is still like an interesting read. Next we are going to move on to 7 Seas. I haven't had like as many 7 Seas releases this month as like, well, it doesn't feel like it's been as many this month as normal. So we'll actually start off with novels. So yeah, we'll start off with novels because we had a couple of dramas released this month, which is always exciting. So the first one we have the penultimate to the series, Heaven Official's Blessing Volume 7. My absolute favourite novel of all time. Is just such an amazing read. So we only have one more volume and then it's done. You can get a special edition like we did, like a 7 Seas did with Scum Villain and Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. So that's nice that they're carrying on that as well with the final volume. Of course, with it being the penultimate volume, we are like seeing things like starting to really kick off for the like a final big fight, the final like happenings. It's all sort of like coming together and everything. But yeah, if you are gonna pick any of 7 Seas dramas that they've licensed, like go ahead, pick this. Like this, I cried through this. I laughed through it. I had a second-hand cringe and embarrassment from this. Like it's like the perfect love story, like it is a BL. But yeah, you can't get like any better than this story. Like I love it. and yeah, I'm so happy like that we now have like physicals of this story. Next we also have Guardian as well. I haven't read this one yet. This is from the same author as Stars of Chaos as well, and from what I've heard as well, like this is preferred more over than Stars of Chaos, and this is a more modern like set in more modern times, and it is involving the Netherworld as well. So we have the Mortal Realm and the Netherworld as well. Like I said, I've not read this yet. I've heard only good things about it, so I'm excited to get into it. I just need to be like in that right frame of mind to sit down and read an actual novel, rather than like a manga or manhwa. And then we also have the 3rd volume of Husky and His White Cat Shazin. So if you are enjoying all of the danmes, pick this up if you want something that isn't as like fluffy and wholesome as like MXTX is like Heaven Official's Blessing. If you want something a little like rougher around the edges, but still in that sort of like similar like universe, like that similar sort of like vein, then go ahead and pick this up. But just be aware going into it that, you know, it's not all wholesome fluffy roses. Next we have Tokyo Revengers volume 13 and 14. I love this series. Like I held off a little while like reading it, and I don't know why, but yeah, I've been loving this. We get to a point where after the whole Christmas debacle has died down and everything, we see sort of like the aftermath of that, and how that affects the future of Hina, and everyone, like how it's affected them in the future. So we do see another like a jump again, a little back and forth, and we also get to see like how it's affected Mikey, which was very, very interesting to see. Like I say, I love this series so much, like I can understand the hype behind it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the next volume. Next we have another one that is not all fluffy roses, and is definitely not for the faint of heart, and that is Killing Stalking volume 4. This is where things are starting to go downhill rapidly. This is a BL, and it involves 2 people that really needed help with like their mental state. One we see who is the obsessive stalker type, who finds himself in a situation that he never thought he would be in after entering the house of the person that he's obsessed with, who is the high school like jock popular guy, finding out that he is actually has someone tied up in his basement. But yeah, this we see things start to take a turn for the worse. If you can believe it does get worse, it does. So yeah, it's all sort of like starting to kick off and not go as planned. We also had volume 3 of Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, the manhwa. I'm so happy we got this. Like I'm still waiting for 7 Seas to announce the manhwa of Heaven Official's Blessing. But yeah, full colour, we love that. So yeah, if you didn't want to read the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, then this is a great alternative and another way to like consume it. This is a BL and it is freaking amazing. Like I love this. So yeah, in this volume we see Wei Wuxian, he gets discovered who he truly is. But yeah, like I say, if you didn't want to read the novels, then go ahead, pick this up. This is a great alternative. Again, another masterpiece, and I'm so glad that we got this in the English license as well. Next we have volume 7 of Kimono Jihan. Probably butchering that, my bad. This is one of these where like I'm struggling to keep up with like the new releases for some reason. Like they are coming out quick. I have not caught up with this yet, but this is about a world where there are like yokais and things like that. mystical type creatures as well. I have been enjoying the first few volumes of this, but like I say, volume 7 out already. I've not caught up with this series, but I really like the artwork. It's cute, and like I said, I really like the characters that we've met so far. But yeah, I just need to like catch up with this. I love this cover there. Like, I love how they've drawn the character on the front with like the color combinations as well. Like, it's something about it is just like so nice to look at. Then we have a super cute read. We have Dinosaur Sanctuary Volume 3. So this sees Suzume, she's out of her probation now, and so she is basically told that she's going to spend time with each team to sort of like see where she wants to be stationed at in the sanctuary. This is very cute, and what I absolutely love and adore about this volume in particular is we get some colored pages at the front, but we also get like, it's like a little pamphlet about the sanctuary with like the information on it, and then we also like get a little like a little fold out map and everything. Like, how freaking adorable is that? Like, that's such a cute little detail. I love that. But yeah, this is a super cute series. I love this, and I love Suzume as well. Like, she's such a nice character, and she's so like upbeat and everything. Like, she's one of those like happy, tries to always see the lighter side of things, the happier side of life. She's a little ray of sunshine. But yeah, this is a really cute series, and I love like reading this, like just chilling out to read like the new volumes that come out. Then we have Life with an Ordinary Guy Who Reincarnated into a Total Fantasy Knockout. Did you get all of that? So this is an isekai, which I don't tend to dip my toes into isekais very much because it's like hard to find like where the good isekais are, because it's like it's very saturated, the genre is, at least I find it, and it's a little overwhelming for me. But yeah, this is where after a drunken night these two get basically isekai into another world. They're the heroes. They have a bit of a argument with the person that brought them there and granted their wishes, because the Tachibana, which is this guy, basically wakes up in a woman's body. It is a comedy. It's actually really funny, because like one of the powers that she now has is that she is unbelievably cute, and people like basically succumb to her charms, and it's really funny to see like his best friend obviously trying to resist those charms. But yeah, it was really funny. I'm excited to see the next volume, just to see like where this story goes. Definitely a light read. It's not too like deep or anything like that, at least not so far. But I did enjoy it. The first volume, sort of like, we'll see how it goes from here. Then we have the second volume of What He Who Doesn't Believe in Fate Says. This is a very enjoyable read, and it definitely has piqued my interest into where the story is going to go. So this is about Kuzuki. So he can basically see the red string of fate that ties people together. And he's basically head over heels in love with his best friend, who is known as like Uni, but he's conscious that their red threads don't attach to each other. So he's sort of like trying to ignore fate, and trying to dismiss it. But yeah, the end of volume 1 kind of like left on a bit of a cliffhanger, and was like you kind of gasped at the end. So we sort of like see how that goes on, like that little cliffhanger like plays out in this volume as well, because Yuka, the girl that he's in love with, she very much does believe in fate and finding your soulmate and everything. We kind of like get a bit of background as to like why she thinks that as well, like why she's such a big believer. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I love as well that the red string that is actually in it is in red. So it is actually in red, which I think is a nice touch. But yeah, I want these two to be happy together, but like, is it gonna happen? Like, we don't know. We don't know whether they're gonna end up together or not. Next we have a GL from 7 Seas Girls Sublime. I completely forgot what it was called then. So this is, does it count if you lose your virginity to an android? This is volume 2. So I will say that it's a GL. It's quite explicit, and this is about a woman who Suda, who basically gets drunk and wakes up to a android being delivered, who is there to do whatever Suda needs her to do. And basically the story is that she's trying to find out where this android's come from, because it doesn't seem like your typical like android that you can buy just anywhere. I will say, like, there isn't a deep plot, at least it feels like there isn't a deep plot. So it does make it very light read. It is like a very much like I say, it's a spicy read. But yeah, I feel like that there isn't, at least so far, there isn't like too much to this story. And then moving on to Steamship, we had 2 releases. We have volume 4 of Ladies on Top. I'm so sad that this is only going to be a 6-volume series. But yeah, I love these 2. We had a bit of drama in volume 3 with a spoiler coming in. That kind of like gets very much addressed in this volume. We also see their relationships, Shinamiya's and Mitsuki. So we see them two sort of their relationship, them two like getting closer. They sort of like overcome a bit of a hurdle that they've been having. I love this series. Like, one of the reasons I do love it is that like when things happen, they do actually communicate to each other. They like talk things out, which you don't always see like in romances. And the fact that it is sort of like flipping the stereotypical like gender roles in the bedroom as well. And it's those two sort of like discovering that dynamic and like what works and how they can each be like fulfilled in the bedroom. But yeah, sad that it's only 6 volumes. It's been such an enjoyable read so far. Then we have a brand new license that got released, and that is I Can't Refuse S. So again, everything from Steamship is for mature readers, 18 plus. So this is about Miku, and this is kind of like a typical trope that we kind of see, where it's her father has incurred a lot of debt, and she's trying to like find work, do something where she can like help to pay it back. And her mum is very sick, so her mum can't work, so it's kind of like being left to her. It's like, it's one of those stories. So she has a relative who has been like helping them out and giving them a little bit of money, but they need a lot more money. So she heard in the news that he has mistresses. So she's going to go ahead and see if she can be one of his mistresses. However, she doesn't know the full story is what that actually entails. Enter this guy who is Kamishiro, who is basically the butler. And he goes speak to the master, and the master says, I don't want to turn her away completely. You train her up basically to see if she's going to be good enough to be a mistress. So yes, it's between these two. For some reason, like, this guy is a bit of a dick, but he's one of those dicks, but he's like kind of attractive. It's like one of those situations where you're like, I know I should be attracted to you, but I kind of am. It's like one of those things. But yeah, I enjoyed this. Like I say, it's a spicy read, but it's like not so far it hasn't been as spicy as like some of the other releases from Steamship. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see where this goes, and I find it a little weird that she wants to be a mistress of like her, I'm sure it's like her dad's uncle or something, like, which is very strange. And I just got a random something or other in the mail that's just come through the door. So let's see, what did I get? What has arrived today? Rainbow Days at Volume 6. These are coming out so quick, and I've still not like had chance to like catch up on this. Like, I can't believe we're already at Volume 6. And I know like some people have like a bit of mixed feelings about this series, but I haven't read it all yet, so I don't feel like I can sort of really put a comment on it. But yeah, I really need to like, there's a couple of series actually that I've got that I really need to prioritize. This is going to be like a commitment as well, because I believe it's like 16 volumes long, so it's not a short series either. Okay, so we are going to move on to IZE Press and IZE Press. First up, we have volume 4 of Subakichu, A Lonely Planet. I love this series. This is an age gap series, but this is like, again, one of those tropes where what's her name, Fumi, like her dad is left, there's lots of debt, she needs to like try and pay it off, she gets evicted, and she gets introduced to a living maid job for a novelist. Enter this guy. These are so cute. This is the same author as in the Moonlit Dusk, whatever it's called. I can never remember the like proper like name of that one. In the Moonlit Dusk, I think, but same author as that. I have really been loving this series. Like, it's so super cute. We see what's his name, Akatsuki. We see him needing to go off to do some research for his work, and so they go off on a little trip. We do see like a little bit of drama in this one, but yeah, I love this series. It's a very enjoyable series. It is an age gap, just keep that in mind, because again, I know some people don't like that, but I am really loving this series. Next we have Sota's volume 3. So this is the final volume for this. It is a BL. So this wraps up the story. I really enjoyed this. Like, it's about hazing. So this is Kongpon, this guy who basically was a new student in the engineering major. And this is Arthrat, who is basically the head hazer. In this volume, it comes to like graduation time, the end of the whole hazing thing, and people moving on into the next year and everything. And so this wraps up their like relationship, and sort of like what's the next step for these guys. Yeah, like I say, I really enjoyed this. There's a bit of drama in this one, like there always is towards the end of like romances and everything. But yeah, so this concludes this one. This did actually come wrapped, which I'm not used to from IZE Press. Like, they don't usually come wrapped, so it is a mature read. But it isn't like, I get why they put like mature on here, but I think that was being like a little overprotective with the reader to like put like a mature wrapped in plastic type situation. But yeah, I enjoyed this. Kind of sad that it is wrapped up now. We have a brand new series from IZE Press, which is Stray Cat and Wolf. So this is same creator as Cheeky Brat. This again is an age gap, and this is where the female Tamaki, she is portrayed very naive. She's quite smart, but she's book smart, not street smart type of situation. and she's basically spent all of her life up like living in some mountains where people have like shunned her because she doesn't know who her mother is, and she was abandoned by her dad. So she was living with her grandma, but everyone shunned her in the village and there weren't many kids there either. So she got to a certain age and she was like, right, I'm gonna go to high school in Tokyo. However, she got there, and a little while after she got there, she got evicted from her place, so she had nowhere to go. And she ended up passing out on the street and waking up in a random guy's house. So yeah, it sounds not great, this situation. Yeah, her dad didn't abandon her, dad died. And so yeah, so she ends up in Rue's apartment. Like, he has like one of his girlfriends that are there, basically says like, we can't leave this girl, like let's take her back to your place, like until she like, you know, recovers, wakes up and everything. So this is naive girl and playboy situation. He is older than her, it's an age gap, he's in a band, like, and he's seen as like the hot one of the band, and like he's the one that like pulls in the fans. So yeah, this is about them too. I did actually really enjoy this volume, and I think I'm gonna really like the series. Like I say, just be aware that there is some stuff that happens where it's like you are very much reminded that she is like, she's not an adult. She is a minor and stuff, so just keep that in mind. I know some people will not like that at all, and like I say, the fact that she isn't like really portrayed as like a really mature like high schooler, and she is with a guy that is older. But like I say, that sort of stuff doesn't bother me, like where it's an age gap in manga. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. But I enjoyed this nonetheless. Another new series from IZE Press, which is Associate Professor Akira Takatsuki's Conjecture Volume 1. So there is a light novel as well, I believe, that's sort of released like last month or fairly recently anyway. The novel got released. So this is about Naya. This guy who something happened to him, and he can tell when people are lying. Like, he knows when people are lying, like no matter what it is, whether it's just like two friends chatting and one saying like, oh, I like your outfit. Like, he knows when they're lying. So he kind of like keeps himself to himself, because he's like, I'm not dealing with that, I'm not dealing with people like that. And then he goes off to uni and he meets Akira, who is a professor, and he is doing a class on like folklore. So he takes this class and he notices that whenever Akira is talking, like, he's not lying, he's like always telling the truth. One of the things that Akira does is he like allows people to submit like folklore and like urban myths and stuff, and he goes and like looks into them. So Naya like submits basically the thing that happened to him, and Akira asks him to basically be his an assistant. So it's about them going out and finding like these stories and seeing if there really is like any truth behind these like stories that appear. Very interesting read, I really enjoyed it. And it's interesting to see like how the story came about, like people's reactions to it who have been like involved, and like what it actually was. But yeah, very enjoyable read. Definitely a series that I'm gonna like anticipate new releases for. Then we have My Dear Curse Casting Vampiress, Volume 2. So I really enjoyed the first volume, even though I thought like some of the characters were a little bit goofy. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to read Volume 2 yet. I've only just got this. But I'm interested to see whether like the goofiness in the characters like continues on, or whether like it sort of like starts to take itself a little bit more seriously or not. So this is about Barack, who is this vampire here, who is kind of like a legend, who slayed vampires, so she like slayed her own, and she's got a very unique way of doing it. And then we have this guy, Isuzu, however you pronounce his name. So he's basically a part of like the police force type thing, and he basically teams up with her to hunt down different vampires and stuff. Like I said, I enjoyed the first volume. I'm slightly biased towards like vampire stories anyway, but like I say, there was like definitely a little bit of goofiness in it, so I'm intrigued to see whether that continues throughout the series. Then we have the final volume of Manner of Death, which is a murder mystery BL. I haven't had a chance to read this one yet either, because this is like they just hit my doorstep. I really enjoyed volume 1. Like I say, it's a murder mystery about a lady who supposedly committed suicide, but all signs pointed towards a murder rather than a suicide, and the main suspect was basically her lover. So this is about like solving that mystery, and obviously a romance between the detective and the lover. So I'm intrigued to see how this concludes. This is a mature rated one as well. Again, this one came wrapped in plastic, but flicking through it isn't as spicy as like what some things could be, but it could also be as well because of the sort of like gore that's in it as well. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see how this one wraps up. And then next we have one that hit my doorstep today that I've already read, because like how can I not, and that is Sasuke Miyano volume 9. So this is events now taking place after Sasuke has now graduated, and he's going to school obviously elsewhere. I love these two so much. The only thing about this is the like in this is like how much story there is, and then this is like a bonus content here. So like for me it's not enough, like we need more story, but still what I do read, what we do get, I very much enjoy. Yeah, super cute BL. Like this is like a perfect romance, like it's so adorable. I love it. And if you were waiting for the film to come out, it's finally now available on Crunchyroll, so you can finally watch the graduation movie, which basically takes place at the events like after obviously season 1, but it's not as far as what's in the manga in volume 9. But yeah, so cute. Like if you are at all interested in romance whatsoever and you want something that's wholesome, green flags, this is what you need in your life. It's so cute. Then we have Doomsday with My Dog volume 3. So this is full color, like little stories, super cute. I haven't had a chance to read this one yet, but I really like the artwork. So this is sort of like just little bite-sized stories that you can sort of like take your time with, like read bits here and there. So this is in a world, like it kind of like hints towards, and the title is like a post-apocalyptic in Japan. Like I say, it's got dog in there. Like finally we have like something that's super cute with dogs in it. Like we need more dog manga, like more animal manga, full stop. Like you just can't have enough of it. So yeah, super cute, nice artwork as well. Then we have another new series. This is the Imperial Scenes of Satsuna's Journey. This is an isekai, which I kind of like ordered on a bit of a whim. Apparently I'm dipping my toes in. But yeah, so this is about Satsuna, who basically gets summoned to another world as the 68th hero. However, he is quite a sickly person. And so he basically died in the real world, because he wasn't very well, and he got isekai'd into another world, and he still wasn't well while he was there. He was basically like in his deathbed still, didn't move, didn't do nothing for like a whole year. And then he gets a third chance at life after meeting this another hero. So yeah, after meeting another hero, like the whole interaction between him and meeting like this other hero like is over very, very quick, and like a lot of stuff happens like very, very quick. There's like, it felt too quick for like that sort of stuff to happen. However, I did enjoy sort of like once he got out there into this new world and everything, meeting these other characters. I did really enjoy it, and this little beast folk that he meets here is completely adorable, and I can't wait to see more of those two, to see like what adventures they get to in this new world, and like how this cute little guy here is gonna like develop, and yeah, like what sort of like person he's gonna like become, and like how Setsuna is gonna like realize that actually now he can live like a really great life with this opportunity that he's been given. Then we have another new series. We have a Glitch Volume 1. So this is about a family who move into a new town, and there's like strange things that are happening, and people like that around there, you either can or you can't see like this weird stuff happening, and they call it like these shadows like appearing, and it's kind of like just like it's a common enough thing where people like don't really bat an eyelid, but obviously for this new family that's like gone there, when they start to see this stuff, obviously they freak out a little bit. This has the cutest little character that appears in this that's so adorable. Like this little creature that appears is so cute, and I'm so glad, like, well, I'm hoping that he's like now joined forces to sort of like track down these like shadows with the two kids of the family. They're trying to investigate these shadows, what they call like these glitches, like the source of where they're coming from, like why they're happening, and why they're starting to get more frequent. Very interesting read, very interesting artwork as well. It's quite simple but like effective. I feel like there isn't like a massive ton of dialogue in this, so you kind of like get through it a little bit quicker. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see like what these glitches are, what's like causing them, where they're coming from. Okay, moving on to IZE Press, we have volume 2 of The Horizon. I believe this is only a 3-volume series, but they are quite chunky. This is a very like depressing and like hard story about these two kids who are trying to survive in this like post-war world, and meeting different characters and stuff, and like the end part of this like really breaks your heart. Like in this volume, like it almost made me cry actually, like in this, and it's very the artwork is very like, it's very dramatic, and it makes you feel unsettled, like the way that it's written and the artwork where it is, like how it's done. It's very like aggressive and harsh, I would say. And yeah, it makes you definitely feel unsettled, and like it's not a happy story. I don't like, I'm at the point where like I don't even know if this is going to be like a happy ending or not. But it's a fantastic read, like let me just say that, like it's a really interesting and like gripping read. But yeah, only one more volume to go, so I'm very interested to see like how that ends, and like I kind of want them to be happy, but at the same time I can kind of see it like not ending like that. Then we have one that I still haven't caught up with yet, don't say anything, and that is a volume 4 of The Remarried Empress. I can't really say much about this because like I say, I haven't read this. So this is about the Empress, who the Emperor said that he wants to get a divorce, and she said yep, under one condition, that I can remarry. It is full colour, which of course we love, and I really like these covers as well that IZE Press are doing. Like, they're very pretty, but yeah, I can't really say much on that because I've not read it yet still. Then we have a new license, which I was like highly anticipating this. I was very excited for this, and that is Jungle Juice Volume 1. This was a very good read. I really enjoyed this, and I really liked the artwork as well. I just kind of like don't want to give anything away, but yeah, full colour, which we love. A very nice artwork as well. So this is about Suchen Jiang. So he is quite popular at school and everything like that. However, he's keeping a secret. He has a pair of wings hidden away that obviously he's not wanting anyone to find out about. And then there's an incident that happened which caused him to expose himself in order to save someone, and it all kind of like goes downhill from there. So he gets like, he feels like he can't be like in society anymore, sort of thing. Like, he can't talk to his friends because obviously they're going to shun him because he's like a weirdo. So he gets introduced into a society that are all like human bug hybrids, and we sort of like find out like where these people have come from, like what happened to him, why he has wings and everything. But this was a really good read. Like, I really enjoyed it. A good amount of action, very interesting storyline, drama, action, bit of comedy in there as well. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I'm super excited for Volume 2 to come out whenever that may be. And then something that just hit my doorstep as well, same time as Sasuke being out, was Tomb Raider King Volume 4. They've changed the covers on these. This is like a textured semi-matte, which I don't like when they do that halfway through a series. I really enjoyed this. I love the fact that the main character isn't like a goody, like he's a little bit on the naughty side. So this is one where, what's his name? Juhin. So Juhin, he is he was basically on a quest to raid these tombs that have like popped up to get these relics. And basically he'd been sent out on a suicide mission by his boss. He got killed, but he had another chance to go back in time before like he got into the situation with this guy, and he has the power now to change his future. Very interesting read. I really like this. This is in the same vein as World After the Fall and Solo Leveling. God, I can't believe like I forgot what it was called then. This is kind of like a little bit of a mix between those two, I feel like a tad. But it's in the same vein as those as well, so if you've enjoyed those titles from IZE Press, you'll enjoy this as well. Like, go ahead, pick it up. And again, full colour with like I said, I've literally only just got this. I haven't read it, but I'm very excited to read it and to see what happened after the aftermath of the previous volume. So that's all of the new releases actually that I got through in the month of September. There's quite a few actually. I didn't actually pick up that many like already released manga, so we'll just go through them. A couple of restocks that I'd been waiting for ages. So the first one was The World's Greatest First Love Volume 4. This had been out of stock for like what, a year and a half or something like crazy, and it was the last one that I needed for the complete set. It's one of my favorite like series as well, so it's been very frustrating not to have like the full physical set. This is a BL. It's quite toxic, and it is ex-lovers who like find each other like later on down the line, and it's not smooth sailing at all, but yeah, I love this series so freaking much. Like I said, I'm finally excited to complete the physical editions. Another one that I've been missing for forever, and I can finally start reading it, is A Gentle Noble's Vacation Recommendation Volume 2. This is a fantasy series. I really enjoyed Volume 1. I wanted to get Volume 2, and it had been out of stock for so long, like literally a stupidly long amount of time. And they've kind of like, the cover feels a little bit weird to me. Like, I thought that maybe it was printed in like Italy or somewhere like that, because they tend to have like a different like, you can tell that it's a different like cover and quality than like the American or Canadian printed ones, but no, this is printed in Canada. So yeah, but that's just minor, like this is irrelevant. But yeah, I'm finally happy to finally have the volume 2 so I can read the series. Then I had a lucky eBay find with Princess Plus. This is like, I think with postage and packaging, it was like £5. So I'm really excited to have this in the collection, because this one in particular is like kind of like harder to find. And then I also picked up volume 1 and 3 of Finder. So this was the first lot of Finder that was printed. So there's these Be Beautiful ones, then they went defunct. June picked up the license and printed 7 volumes. They dropped it, and then Sublime picked it up, and it's now like being printed with Sublime. But I kind of wanted to have all of them in my collection. So I just need to pick up the second volume of the Be Beautiful ones, but I'm really glad to find these like in good condition. Then we have Selfish Love volumes 1 and 2. These are a replacement for the ones that I have, because the ones that I have are really badly like water damaged, but they were kind of like thrown in a lot of like manga that I'd like got for really cheap. And then something that I'm super excited about, and a series that's been on my radar for like quite a while now. I'm just missing 1 volume from this now, and that is Let Die, which is from Net Comics. So most of the volumes are still in print and like easily accessible. However, volume 1 and volume 3 are out of print, and so is volume 14. So I'm happy that I managed to get as many volumes as I do. I'm only missing the volume 14, which is like the hardest one to find, like just to find. I've already seen 2 like come up for sale, both like ridiculous prices that like I just couldn't justify like paying that much for like a single volume. Even if it is like super rare. And then like I've only seen it a couple of times where like the full set has been up for sale. But yeah, so I'm only missing volume 14. Hopefully I can find one, fingers crossed. But I've been trying to find this series for a very, very long time, so I'm happy that I managed to find this came as a set, by the way, so I'm happy to find that this included like volume 1 and volume 3. So keep your fingers crossed that I find a volume 14. But that is everything I got in the month of September. Like I say, quite a few things. I didn't pick up as many like already released manga as what I wanted to, but like there's a few figures that are coming out at the end of this year that I need to try and like save my funds for. There are a couple of new releases as well that I haven't received yet that have been dispatched, such as Go With The Clouds North by Northwest. That was released this month as well, volume 6, but I haven't received that yet, which I'm very excited for. But yeah, so that's everything that I got. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I am going to do a spooky manga recommendation video as well, which will go up like next week hopefully. of things that if you want to get into that spooky season vibe, then I've got a few recommendations for you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. It would really help out the channel and let me know that you do enjoy this series, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye everyone.